My name's Will Graham. I'm the winner of The Biggest Loser 2011 and a member of The Biggest Loser online diet club. So far using The Biggest Loser club, I've lost over 10.5 stone and I feel fantastic and I'm really grateful. Before I lost weight, I wouldn't really call what I had a life. I was almost 30 stone and every day was a bit of a struggle. So, getting up in the morning was my workout. And going to bed was what I really kind of looked forward to throughout the day. With the help of everything, including the club though, I've really gained control back of what I do day to day. And I know that everything I do helps because it's a calorie deficit. So if you're going to have a bit of a treat, you need to make sure you run an extra kilometre or something like that. The trigger point for me was being accepted for surgery on the NHS. At that point I thought I had no other options, and after thinking about it I realised I hadn't tried everything. I hadn't really given 100% into doing things the right way with exercise and eating right. So I decided to give that a go, and with the help of the club it's really paid off. My life now is 100 times different to what it was before I started using the club. Every day is a good day. I really look forward to it. And I think more importantly, I'm in control of what I'm doing every day as well. The club helps me maintain a level of control that I need to feel comfortable with what I'm doing. And without it, I don't think that I would have lost as much weight as I have. And I'm really grateful to it. There are so many really helpful features of the Biggest Loser club, but probably the standout feature for me is the flexibility around weighing in. You've got your regular weigh-ins, but you can also measure yourself as well. And sometimes I've found it really difficult using other online facilities because they will show that you've lost weight, but they won't really show you the true results. Something that's been really helpful for me is being able to look at the inches I'm losing, the closer I'm getting to my waist to hip ratio, and obviously how much you weigh. But for me, that's a standout feature. If I had a friend who was thinking about joining the Biggest Loser club, I would tell them to go for it. It's definitely money well spent. And it's such a flexible tool. For me, I like to be really in control. I don't use some of the facilities as much as other people, but I can really see the appeal of things like the food plans, the exercise support, and the forums as well. There's no way that you can get a better support tool online than the Biggest Loser club. To say I've developed some new healthy habits is probably a bit of an understatement. Before I would ring up and order a pizza and pretend I was having a party, but it was just me having a party on my own. And with the help of the Biggest Loser club, I understand that if I do that, there's a consequence. So I'm really grateful to it, and I'll keep using it. I have looked at my old photos recently, and I'm really glad to say that I'm not that person anymore. They're big photos, they take up a lot of space. My life has changed in so many ways, and probably the best way to sum it up is to say that before I was consciously ignorant. I was ignorant of what I was doing to myself and what impact the food I was eating and the lack of exercise was having on me. Whereas now I'm really conscious. I understand what I'm doing, and I know that with the Biggest Loser club I can keep a tab on exactly what I'm doing food-wise and exercise-wise as well. The future for me now is really strange. I'm at a point where I need to start thinking about the shape of my body. In total I've lost nearly 15 stone, so I've always been focused on losing as much weight as I can, whereas now I need to really think about how I can focus certain parts of my body so that I can fit into the right clothes and things like that. I know that the Biggest Loser club will help me do that because the facilities that they have will enable me to keep a track on exactly what I'm doing. So it's scary, but it's a place I never thought I'd get to, and I'm really looking forward to making the changes that I need to. Being a contestant in the Biggest Loser house was really tough, and I found myself really relying on the Biggest Loser club. I got into the habit of not just going on there once a day, but actually getting into the ritual of relying on the Biggest Loser club to keep a tab on absolutely everything I was doing. I became a little bit obsessive, but the Biggest Loser club helped me wean off that as I left the house. It was an amazing tool to have, and I think that anybody who uses it, whether they're in that sort of environment or they're at home, and they really would benefit from it if they just give it a try. Whilst I was on The Biggest Loser, I lost 8 stone 7 pounds, And with the help of the Biggest Loser Club afterwards, I've continued that journey and I've lost another 1 stone 5 pounds.